All right, as President Trump completely rejects Iran's proposals, now is the time for a Persian overthrow of the radical Islamist regime. That's the subject of the rift. Of course, President Trump rejected the ludicrous Iranian conditions for an end to the war as totally unacceptable. Here's what he said earlier today.
After reading that piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it. They said, I'm not going to waste my time reading it.
It's basically the same nonsense they were throwing at him a month ago. A permanent end to the war. Lift the blockade. Give them control over the Strait of Hormuz. Give them money. No discussion of ending nuclear capabilities or handing over their enriched uranium or stopping their missile production or ending their state sponsorship of terror and financing terror proxies. In other words, they're not serious. Of course not. In 47 years, they've never been serious. And that's why President Trump's war against Iran, along with our ally Israel, is so important and so courageous. One Iranian spokesman says the U.S. conditions for peace amounted to a surrender by Iran. Well, right. My only disagreement is it should be an unconditional surrender. Not only stopping Iran's radical Islamist crusade against civilization, but also restoring freedom to the vast majority of Persian Iranians who do not favor the crazy, inhumane, Nazi-like IRGC regime. But restoring freedom to Israel and the rest of the Middle East, including, of course, our Gulf allies, and really restoring freedom and prosperity worldwide. Mr. Trump is, in fact, doing a great service, literally, to the entire world outside of the murderers in Iran. 42,000 people killed so far this year. Is that not inhumane? Does that not require overthrowing the regime? I hope we all remember 25 years ago, nearly, the al-Qaeda attack on the World Trade Center. The whole country then rallied around American patriotism and security. The radical IRGC is a different breed of Islamic extremism, but it's the same hatred of America, hatred of Israel, hatred of Western culture, and hatred of civilized people all around the world. It's why the apparent Democratic Party opposition to the Iran war is really unfathomable to me. Perhaps it's because the Democrats have become the anti-Israel party, but that too is unfathomable to me. In any case, President Trump will undoubtedly be taking additional actions against Iran. He has mentioned Project Freedom Plus, and in all likelihood, there will be substantial combat operations. For my part, I believe it's essential that the U.S. take total control of the entire Arabian Gulf, Hormuz included, while keeping the successful blockade on Iran, which is squeezing down their already collapsing economy. And perhaps, if we give the civilian population some strong help, now is the time they will overthrow the most gruesome government since the Nazis of nearly 100 years ago, and perhaps the worst regime of any time in history. And that is the rift. All right.